Alrighty everyone, welcome back. We are now in the final week of July of 2024, and there's been a lot of things going on with the Walt Disney Company and all of its divisions, by the way. Specifically looking at Lucasfilm, one of the most failed divisions over at the Disney Company for multiple reasons. One of the biggest ones of all is the fact that they have a deliberate agenda over there by not just Bob Iger, but most certainly by Kathleen Kennedy, and it only gets worse for Bob Iger, for the board of directors, for Disney's case, after everything that actually happened with Gina Carano and the entire lawsuit that is being funded, by the way, by Elon Musk. Big thumbs up to him, by the way. And what's interesting about this moving forward has a lot to do with Disney's reaction, how Bob Iger is taking everything of what's been going on with the Gina Carano lawsuit. Let's get into this. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You could also follow me at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. So, for those of you that have no idea who Gina Carano is, to make it short, back in 2021, February to March, right around that time frame, she was fired from Lucasfilm by Kathleen Kennedy in the worst way possible. Her firing, she learned about it through Twitter. She was never given a phone call, an email, not even a call into the office, nothing like that. It was done in the most unprofessional way, mind you. And that also, on top of that, she was fired for the wrong reason. Now, focusing on Kathleen Kennedy and Bob Iger, this is where things begin to unravel, because there's been a lot of things going on with Disney right now after a judge recently dismissed Disney's overall motive to dismiss the case, to shift away from this case and to make it not happen at all. Well, everything really turned upside down for Bob Iger. Let's get into this. Now, with all Disney divisions dealing with multiple setbacks and challenges due to Bob Iger's cost containment plan and his deliberate agenda, one major development now has more to do with Bob Iger and the board of directors that recently held an emergency meeting related to the Gina Carano lawsuit. Now, one serious update coming out of this emergency meeting comes in the wake of U.S. District Judge Sherilyn P. Garnett recently denied a request by the Walt Disney Company to dismiss the Gina Carano lawsuit that is being funded by Elon Musk. The judge quickly put this in favor of Gina Carano and Elon, that is now leading both Iger and the Disney heads to rethink their strategy when it comes to the press and their own PR moves for the rest of July leading into August. Already the majority of the board of directors have been informed by Bob Iger in this recent meeting that Bob Iger will be informing those associated with Lucasfilm and anyone holding a connection to the Disney Company to take no comments or questions about the Carano case moving forward. This meeting also includes Bob Iger, who is already planning to make a huge statement as it is about the case and how it's being funded by Mr. Musk. The Walt Disney Company views this as an attack from Elon Musk in some way, shape, or form and views it as a falsified lawsuit. Already in response to the Gina Carano lawsuit, now officially moving forward, those high up at Disney, including Iger, have decided to cancel all plans that were set in stone to release deleted footage of The Mandalorian Season 1 and 2 that were going to feature Carano's character Cara Dune. This is now going to be locked up in a vault where these scenes are never to be seen, along with how Iger and the board have held conversations as part of this emergency meeting on a way of deleting Carano's scenes for both Mando Season 1 and Season 2's special editions, quote-unquote, with new editions that they are planning to create for both 26 and 2027, for Disney Plus, mind you, that will actually involve revised scenes. Now, to top things off, between both Bob Iger and the board, there is much tension taking place, get this, after the judge made it clear that the Walt Disney Company will no longer be able to request to dismiss this case, and Elon Musk is already planning to provide Carano more funds than previously discussed to help her even more with the Lucasfilm lawsuit. Surprisingly, Bob Iger informed Kathleen Kennedy about the case, and there is much panic happening between the Lucasfilm story group, who celebrated Carano's firing, by the way, on Twitter some years ago, along with Kennedy herself, who was the one who fired her the way that she did. Now, guys, before I move on, this is a colossal failure on Disney's part. They thought that they could get away with this. They thought that they could dismiss this case. Well, no. Thanks to Garnett, George Garnett, she said Disney cannot dismiss this case. This has the overall freedom of going where it wants to go. You know, Elon and Gina are going to get things done their way. And I said this a couple of months ago, guys, by the way, once this lawsuit was created, it's going to linger for many, many months, all right? This is not going to resolve for probably 2 years. That's my overall prediction there. But everything happening now behind the scenes is actually in chaos between the emergency meeting that took place between Bob, the board of directors, and how they are now going to be handling everything related to the press asking questions about this, to their PR moves, to how Lucasfilm is now in complete panic mode because they know what they did was absolutely wrong, the way that they actually fired her and why they fired her. Meanwhile, other employees did far worse things than Gina even was considered to do on social media, alright? So, at the same exact time, we know that Kathleen Kennedy really knows that she is in a very bad spot now. I think that this could very well leave a very bad print on her for her chase to renew her contract in 2027. That doesn't mean that she's not going to fulfill that. I still believe that she will be able to fulfill her 2027 extension. But moving on forward, alright? Kennedy is planned to be part of the lawsuit that's being organized by both Carano and Elon Musk. Get this, as this is Elon's gateway, essentially, to getting back at Kathleen Kennedy for not what she just did to Carano, but her misuse of DEI at Lucasfilm, and how it devalued the Star Wars brand. Carano's case is planned to take another major step forward by mid-August. So, we've had a lot of examples of other employees over at Lucasfilm that did far worse things than Gina Carano. Did you all see what Pedro Pascal put on social media back right around when Gina was being claimed to write all those terrible things on social media? That just goes to show you the double standard. That just goes to show you how they are in favor of one person than the other, or one group than the other, or whatever have you. And that is typical Kathleen Kennedy. That's how things are run at Lucasfilm. And it's really just so unprofessional. It really makes you look at the company and like, how is this even a real division under the Walt Disney Company? Well, don't be too shocked, because this is how a lot of divisions nowadays act under the Disney Company. I mean, Pixar being one of the biggest ones of all, and the other one of which, Marvel Studios, and we'll get more into that later on in the week. But yeah, I mean, this is a very, very huge step for Elon and Gina. They thought that they were going to actually be dismissed, that the Disney company was going to get things done their way. Thanks to Judge Garnett, she blocked that. She said, Bob Iger, everyone else at the Walt Disney Company, Elon, Gina, they have a full right to move forward with this case and to really present everything to, of course, the court and everything else moving forward against Bob Iger, Kathleen Kennedy, Lucasfilm, Walt Disney, you name it. So this is going to be an interesting 6 months. So the reason why I say 6 months is that this is going to be very sporadic. It's going to take a lot of time for this to progress. We know that by mid-August, it is going to start to move forward again. And as we get into the fall, we're going to see a lot of things begin to unravel when it comes to the Gina Carano lawsuit against Lucasfilm, against Kathleen Kennedy, against Disney, and how this is also going to leave a major impact on Bob Iger's so-called legacy in the early 2020s. So overall, guys, I would like to hear what everyone has to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.